Alright, let's begin. Hello everybody, welcome back to my series of Ninjago episode review live streams. In today's stream we are taking a look at episode 83 of Ninjago entitled True Potential. So, this is the last stream of the week because it is Friday. Hopefully you all are having a fantastic Friday so far. And usually what we do with this review is, in case you guys have not seen one of these before, here's our schedule. We stream Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Central Time, with an episode review and a Q&A. We will update this day by day. If there's ever a day where I can't stream, I will let you guys know via my community tab. So, like I said, last stream of the week. However, this is not the last episode of Season 8. We still have one more episode, and due to the way that the schedule has turned out, we will be talking about the season finale on Monday. So, whereas Waffle, she is probably sitting in a chair behind me, I think. Maybe? Yeah. I couldn't see her for a second. But usually what we do, we let the episode pictures run in the background as we break down the plot, then we talk about the good, the bad, and then finally, we give the episode a score out of 10. What's the drink? We got cold water. Ice cold water, and it is glorious. But yeah, this episode's a pretty big deal. I mean, we see Garmadon back again, once again. So, you know. So yeah, let's go ahead and not waste any more time. Usually these reviews take up around maybe 20 to 25 minutes of the stream. Then we'll jump into Q&A stuff and we can talk about whatever you guys want to talk about when we get to that point. Let's get to it. So, just jumping right in. The episode begins with some garbage dudes, and they're kind of talking about the last episode's events and what happened with that. Suddenly they hear a voice in the alleyway with them, and they realize it's Garmadon. They kind of freak out and run away, leaving Garmadon to hijack the garbage truck as he kind of rides into the prison and uses it to break out Harumi. Harumi and Garmadon officially meet for the first time, and he proceeds to break her out of jail. So, Garmadon, he's back and he means business. The first thing he does when he comes back, he starts stealing garbage trucks. Absolutely ridiculous, that man. But you know, he's back. What else? What else are you gonna do? So, moving on. The ninja are celebrating their victory, but Lloyd is depressed, obviously. He cared about Harumi and he cares about his dad, so having both of them taken away from him for the final time, he's kind of understandably upset about that. Suddenly, Dareth notices on the TV that there is something strange going on there, and Garmadon can be seen on the TV breaking out Harumi. So, obviously, a big shock to Lloyd and the rest of the ninja because they're just now celebrating. They're like, "What? We defeated them last time. We pretty much just like stopped the ritual. How is Garmadon back?" Well, surprisingly enough, or unsurprisingly enough rather, Garmadon still managed to escape the departed realm. The ritual was complete. The ninja were just a little too late. So now Garmadon and Harumi are pretty much out in the open, and the team decides to split up now. Dareth takes Masako and Wu to go hide in his apartment building, so that's interesting. Dareth has his own apartment, and he's going to be using it to house baby Wu and Misako, because if Garmadon's out there, you bet that Garmadon's going to be coming for them at some point. Meanwhile, the rest of the ninja go to the prison to catch up with the police commissioner and hear all about what happened, and yeah, it's very obvious that Garmadon is back, and it's really him. But all of the worst parts, you know, it's not like Sensei Garmadon, basically just all of the worst parts of Garmadon rolled into one, and that's what Harumi ended up bringing back, which of course is interesting. Garmadon and Harumi have taken over Cryptarium Prison. They pretty much kick out all of the wardens and everything like that. So now what they ended up doing is kind of turning it into a base of sorts, like a Sons of Garmadon headquarters. So all of the other members of the Sons of Garmadon are there after the events of the last episode, and Harumi is trying to get Garmadon to unlock his true potential. Much like the ninja, Garmadon can also unlock his true potential, and he can do that by defeating the one thing that stands in his way, that being Lloyd, his son. So pretty predictable what's going to be happening here. Eventually we're going to see these two throw down. Back on the bounty, the ninja discuss a plan, and Lloyd really wants to go face off against his father, but the ninja don't think that's a really good idea, because obviously if it's the fight that fuels him, Garmadon is going to do nothing but benefit from the fight. So they're trying to keep Lloyd from that. Ultimately, what Lloyd ends up doing is he ends up tricking the ninja and locking them in one of the rooms on the bounty, and just driving there anyway. So the ninja aren't super happy about that. Obviously, they try to talk with him, but Lloyd kind of cuts off communication by destroying the console in his car. He is just full on ready to take on his father, full of rage, full of depression, just full of every emotion under the sun, and he is, you know, on his way. Don't go to the Dareth apartment. Yeah, it's probably not a good idea. Dareth's apartment is definitely not, not great. Don't go to Darrett's apartment. Um, let's go ahead and see what we got going on here next. So, Lloyd makes his way to the prison. And when he gets to the prison, Harumi decides to broadcast what's about to go down across all of Ninjago, which isn't super cool on her part, but she wants to show the world that Garmadon is back. And sure enough, Lloyd goes ahead and confronts Garmadon. He appears in all of his glory, and a fight breaks out between the two. Eventually, after a couple of rounds of Lloyd and Garmadon going back and forth, it's very obvious that Lloyd is no match for this overpowered rendition of Garmadon. As he starts to unlock his true potential, Garmadon grows more powerful by each punch, and like Harumi says, it is the fight that fuels him. So Garmadon is again doing nothing but benefiting from this battle, obviously. Yeah, Lloyd here is just full of emotion, rage and depression being the big two. Um, but yeah, Garmadon starts to unlock his true potential, gets stronger with every punch. Lloyd tries his best to bring his dad back. Eventually, Garmadon just grabs hold of him and says to him, "I have no son," which really hit hard in the feels. Yeah, like eventually Lloyd realizes towards the end of season 9, he actually uses his power against him by resisting the fight instead of, trying to join in to the fight, which is not what he does here. He eventually learns that towards the end of season 9, and that is what we refer to as character development. At this point in time, Lloyd is just, purely just there for the fight, and it's doing nothing but benefiting Garmadon. But after Garmadon says that dreaded line, "I have no son," he basically tosses Lloyd through several walls and tosses him out of the prison, and you gotta think, it's like, wow. How is Lloyd not dead? You know what I'm saying? Lloyd survived worse, surely, but that must have been a really big hit. All of Ninjago watches in horror as Lloyd is basically defeated by this new rendition of Garmadon. The ninja watch as well. They weren't there to pick him up in time. They weren't there to help him out in time, and they feel the effects of that. All of Ninjago feels the effects on that, and Lloyd basically admits defeat here. He can't really move. Lloyd's done. He's basically just done with this fight. The episode actually ends with Harumi seeing the destruction that Garmadon has caused, and she decides to dub him Emperor Garmadon, as Garmadon lets out a maniacal laugh, and the episode comes to a close. Very brutal episode. Like, I'm not gonna lie, last night watching it, it was kind of hard to watch. Not gonna lie. But yeah, let's discuss some good and some bad, because the plot is basically pretty straightforward. There's not a whole lot going on in terms of detailing. Garmadon returns, and Lloyd decides to go and fight him off alone. That's basically the plot of this episode, if I had to summarize it within a sentence. In terms of good, obviously the obvious: Garmadon is back, and he's badder than ever before. Obviously, like in terms of power, Garmadon is like up there now. He's slowly unlocking his true potential and getting more powerful by the minute, and yeah, he's definitely not the Garmadon that we remember. But this Garmadon we will soon grow to love as well. In his big introduction episode here, he is very ruthless, very maniacal. It's very obvious that they only brought back the evil parts, which was Harumi's plan all along. Garmadon himself is not there, but Harumi only brought back like the most evil parts of Garmadon. So that's fun. Garmadon also gains his true potential, like I said. Kind of a weird parallel because Lloyd in this instance has kind of lost his power. We'll see more of that in the next episode, but Lloyd at this point doesn't really have a lot of power, but Garmadon has a lot of it. So it's kind of like the balance has been shifted even further towards the side of bad. Also, talking about Lloyd versus Garmadon, the actual fight itself, is this the most brutal fight that we've seen throughout Ninjago? I mean, for real. It was pretty emotional. I mean, Lloyd is trying his best to either, or he's trying his best to both fight back against his father while also bring his father back. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to bring out the good in Garmadon like he did a long time ago. Ultimately, this version of Garmadon doesn't care about anything about that. He doesn't really care. And he is just, full of rage and full of hatred, much like Lloyd in a sense. It's a very interesting parallel there. Eventually, the balance is broken even further, though, and Lloyd is thrown through several walls and is pretty much done. Like I said, he's not really walking away from that, and we will see more of the effects of that in the next episode. Like I said, he ends up losing his powers. We can see a little bit of hinting towards that in this episode, but ultimately, Garmadon stands victorious here. So Harumi got her revenge after all. Also, I want to talk about the instance of Lloyd versus the other ninja. Lloyd actually goes against his friends in this episode, which in a lot of ways kind of makes Lloyd unlikable. But if you want to be realistic here, What else is he going to do? We all know that Lloyd is kind of emotionally unstable, especially after everything that happened this season. And seeing his dad back, that's not going to help his case. He's going to try to drive there on his own. The ninja should have seen this coming before. I'm not blaming the ninja for this, but you got to admit, it's like this was kind of predictable. It was kind of predictable that Lloyd was going to do something like this. But yeah, Lloyd basically goes against his friends. He's completely lost it at this point. I thought that was an interesting way to bring Lloyd's character back around. It's kind of interesting to see where he is at the beginning of this season and where he is now. Something's definitely changed and snapped within him. So I just thought that was cool how the episode actually went ahead and referenced it. This is also a great setup for the finale as well. We only have one more episode left of Sons of Garmadon. Obviously, the story will continue into Ninjago Hunted, but like with that being said, this episode actually provides us a really interesting bridge to that final episode of season 8, with Garmadon back on top, Lloyd being pretty much immobile at this point. It's pretty much an uphill battle for the ninja, and it's not something that they can just win right away. So I liked how the episode kind of laid the groundwork for the next episode. I thought it was super cool. In terms of bad stuff, I actually do have a little hints of little teeny tiny bits of bad stuff to say about this episode. I had to skip some of the scenes, not like the fighting scenes or anything like that. Mainly the singing at the beginning. We've seen Cole sing the Glowworm song, and that's funny and all. But the ninjas sing the Weekend Whip, and the audio is like super mismatched to the ninjas' mouths. It was just super weird to watch, and I was like, well, this is kind of awkward. I'm just gonna skip ahead, and that's exactly what I did. I just kind of skipped ahead, skipped around those parts because it's like I don't want to sit here and watch this. Like personally, I hate when audio does not match up with the actual like dialogue. I hate when that doesn't happen. I hate when that happens rather. I hate when you see the character's mouth move and it's obvious that they're saying something completely different, but the audio suggests otherwise. It's just really like it messes me up. I don't know why it was supposed to be mismatched if that's the case. That's kind of an awkward choice. In a lot of ways that kind of makes it worse. But yeah, didn't really care for that too much. What I also didn't like was the Dareth apartment scene. I thought that went on for way too long. You know what I'm saying? Like Masako and Wu need a place to hide, so they decide to go to Dareth's apartment, which I like how it's modeled after the Ninjago City set. I thought that was kind of cool, but the actual scene just goes on for way too long, and there's way too much awkward Dareth moments in there. I just don't care. I don't care about Dareth. I don't care about his apartment. I don't care about that. I don't think that it should have been in this episode because this episode is pretty perfect overall. And Dareth's apartment, I didn't need to see that. I didn't need to see like everything that has to do with it. They could have just said, "Oh, Masako and Wu are going with Dareth," and cut it off from there. Show us a little bit more of development. Like use that time to further develop Lloyd and Garmadon. Otherwise, that was pretty much my only complaints about this episode. The episode is still very good. Like, don't get me wrong, the episode is still very fantastic. Um, in fact, I'm not going to take off as many points for that as one might think. In terms of a score, though, I'd say a 9 because there was some stuff that I thought was kind of cringy that I had to skip through. And but overall, this episode's super great. A lot of really good moments in this episode, especially Lloyd versus Garmadon. So yeah, a 9 from me. As you can see, my original score, I gave it a 9.5 out of 10, so I bumped it down from my original score by like half a point, but you know, point still stands. I thought this episode was good, just not as perfect as some other Sons of Garmadon episodes. Some of you guys have already started putting your scores in the chat. Thank you very much. Right away, I see a couple of 9s and 10s. Basically, kind of like a mix between 9s and 10s. I see an 8.5. Not bad. Baby Wu dancing out of 10. I will say, Wu was definitely having a lot of fun in this episode, so big props to young Master Wu for actually having fun during that scene. I know I sure didn't. Bunch of 10s though. Yeah, Dead Man's Squall is pretty good. I'd say I'd prefer that one more than this episode, but I can see why some people would consider this their favorite. Ninja's awkward singing out of 10. For real, like stuff like that just kind of pulls me out of the episode, especially when there's like some technical problems with it. It's not fun to watch, at least for me. But yeah, I'm seeing a lot of positive scores. I haven't seen a lot of super low scores, so as I sip my water. That'll pretty much do it for my review on True Potential. Like I said, this is the last stream of the week, and Monday we will talk about Big Trouble Little Ninjago, which is the big season finale for season 8. I wouldn't say it's as big of a finale as like some other season finales because the story does continue very heavily into the next season, but it's still a finale nonetheless. So on Monday we'll talk about that. In the meantime, that'll pretty much wrap it up for my review But the stream is not done just yet. Now we can discuss some questions and answers if you would like. So let's see, what should we start? Why don't we start on maybe the movie? Why don't we start on the movie and then we'll change background images as we go along here. I'm trying to think of which one we haven't done in a very long time. I feel like we've done all of these very frequently. So we'll start with the movie and we will go on from there. You guys can suggest other ones and we'll switch to those like every 5-10 minutes, whatever. But yeah, now's the time of the stream where I put my feet up and answer y'all's questions. What do you got for me today? In terms of announcements, got nothing going on except this weekend we have the next 2 episodes of season 14 coming out. So be sure to stick around for that if you want to see those episodes and if you want to see my reviews on those. Did I like the Ninjago movie? I did. I thought it was a lot of fun. Definitely underrated in terms of Ninjago content. So, you know. Why did Borg only make a smartwatch in season 7 when he made hover cars in season 3? That's a good question. Not sure why. I mean, you would think that, something like a smartwatch would come first. In the real world, we have smartwatches, but we don't have like hover cars yet. So maybe Borg is working backwards. Maybe he's so smart that he's working backwards or something. When is season 14 coming to the United States? I have no idea. I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of release it like in May or June. Usually, the seasons come later in the States than what they do every other country and territory. So, thoughts on the ninjas design changes? I mean, they work better for the ninja, I'd say. At least the majority of them do. I'd say Jay's is the only one that's kind of a downgrade. Otherwise, the rest of the ninja changing their designs, I feel like they changed for the better. Otherwise, Jay's is kind of like a downgrade, but it's neither here nor there. Yeah, he's like, well, I made hover cars. Who needs smartwatches when you have hover cars? Is Garmadon's good side still in the Departed realm? I like to think that they were kind of separated. Like, good Garmadon can still exist at the same time as this evil Garmadon, but eventually we do see this evil rendition of Garmadon kind of gain back a little bit of his humanity. So I almost think he's like obtaining some memories from the other Garmadon, or maybe they're fusing in some way. I very much love to see like the two identities fuse. Like, say if he had like the physical embodiment of evil Garmadon, but he had the mentality of Sensei Garmadon. I think that would be cool if they fused in some way. Worst Ninjago set? Just kind of depends. There's a lot of like really small Ninjago sets that aren't all that great. Like recently, the Electromech has not been super great, super well received. So I'd say probably that one in terms of recent sets. The Juniors Electromech is definitely not a fun set to get. It's just frustrating. It's frustrating that this is the Legacy Electromech. When is season 15? Probably sometime in the summer. I think we're supposed to be getting the sets around June-ish, so maybe we will see them then, or see the actual episodes then as well. Who's to say? Yeah, exactly, the 4+ Electromech. Yeah, Spider on a rock, definitely one of the best parts of that set. I could do without Scorpion on a rock, like he's kind of like meh, but Spider on rock, absolutely. 4+ Electromech versus 4+ Fire Dragon. I think I'd rather have the Electromech, if we're being honest. I don't like that Fire Dragon at all. With the Fire Dragon, I think it works a little better because we're getting a legitimate remake of the Fire Dragon in the summertime. We still don't have a legitimate remake of the Electromech just yet. So, in terms of Electromech, all we got for Legacy is the Juniors one. At least for the Fire Dragon, we're actually getting like a remake of that. So. Speedy Gonzalez? Is that like the Looney Tunes character? Like the mouse? I feel like the Electromech is good for its intended audience, though. Like, let me just, get that disclaimer out of the way. I feel like the Electromech is good for like 4-year-olds. I think it works well for like super young kids. But like, as like a lot of collectors like us, we just don't care. Yeah, I hope we do get a proper Legacy Electromech sometime down the line. Maybe for January of 2022. That'd be nice. We know that this year we're probably not getting one, so I hope that next year we can actually get some more legacy stuff, like actually get an electromech. Maybe we could get some possession sets next year. So, do 4-year-olds even watch Ninjago? I think so. I'd say there are definitely some younger audience members of this show. I think they won't like understand a lot, but you know. We have a donation from a gentleman whose name I will not say on stream for fear of getting demonetized, but I will just call you MG. He has a $5 donation. Thank you very much. He says, "Here's a controversial opinion: the Ninjago movie was a great movie. The only reason the fans hate it was because they can't relate with Lloyd." That's interesting. I guess I never thought of it like that. I always just assumed that Ninjago fans hated it because it was different. Like Ninjago fans really don't like different stuff. So, um, but yeah, that's an interesting opinion. I also think it was a pretty good movie. I wouldn't say it's as good as like the first Lego movie, but still good nonetheless. Thank you though for the $5 donation. Thank you very much. What Funko collectors do I watch? I don't really watch any other Funko Pop collection channels. I've heard of some, and some do show up in my recommended, but I don't actively seek out like Funko Pop channels. I'll watch a review every now and then if there's a pop that I want. I'll check out a review for it, but I don't like religiously watch a Funko Pop channel. It's not my thing. Yeah, like with the movie though, it's like I feel like if you can separate it from the show, then it's a pretty good watch. Like it's obvious that it's not supposed to connect with the show, and it's obvious that it was never going to connect with the show. So obviously everyone's entitled to their own opinions, but I thought it was cool. I do agree with that though, that the other ninja don't get enough screen time. I will say, yeah, that's one of the biggest problems with the movie is that the other ninja are just kind of put off to the side, and it's basically the Lloyd and Garmadon show. So. Do I have any DC Funko Pops? I have a couple of Batmans, but that's about it. Or his roommate, I think she's doing something. She's probably like working on homework or whatever. Because she's got classes right now too. Also, a little update. I fully transferred over colleges, so we're probably going to be starting up again next month. So if that happens, we might need to change streaming time, but I don't know just yet what we're going to do. You just keep that in the back of your head. Which Ninjago character would be an anime fan? Probably Jay. I can imagine Jay being like a big anime fan. I imagine he'd be super into like, because like with the anime episodes of Ninjago, like he was always like the most like anime-esque. So I have a feeling that he would be a big anime fan if I had to pick a ninja that would be a fan of anime. Probably Jay. Let me switch over to Possession. When will we have an Earth Dragon set again? I think they should totally remake some of the original dragons. Like we're getting the Fire Dragon in the summer, but why stop there? We should totally get like legacy remakes of like Rocky or Shard. Like that'd be awesome. I'd buy all the dragons. I think it'd be cool to make like a little dragon display with all the legacy remakes. I will say I've been kind of into collecting Ninjago sets again, like religiously. So I used to collect a lot of Ninjago sets back in the day, like especially from like rebooted to like Skybound era. When Hands of Time came out, I kind of dipped a little bit, but with the movie, I collected a lot more sets. Sons of Garmadon and Hunted didn't really give us that many great sets, in my opinion, but I did get a couple of them. And right now, I've just started collecting sets again. So, yeah, I'd say Possession's a lot better than Hands of Time. Yeah, I imagine Jay would be a lot like myself in a lot of ways, like collecting a lot of random stuff just for the sake of it. Do I want an electric chicken season? Totally. I just want an explanation as to where that thing came from. Yeah, I'm glad they're still doing like season one legacy sets as well. You would think that they would have stopped doing that at this point, but no, they're still going strong after like 3 years of doing it, which is awesome. It's cool that they're still doing that kind of stuff. I would like to see a little bit more of like possession sets. I don't think we should do Skybound just yet. I think with Skybound it's still a little too soon. But with possession, we could totally do a lot more possession sets, like for example, for January of 22, and then maybe in the summertime of 2022, perhaps they could actually release a couple more um, other sets for maybe Skybound or some other stuff. So I think it's cool how they're still doing that. It was the mailman all along. I'm telling you, that postman, pure evil. How about a spider on a dragon set? Totally. I'd buy it. Will Ninjago end in 2023? Probably not. I mean, Ninjago hasn't really been showing any signs of slowing down, and supposedly Ninjago is going to be at its peak in the future, so I think it's safe to say that Ninjago is still going to be going on for a pretty long time, which I'm always, always open to. More Ninjago is always good. Do I play Pokemon Go? I used to, and then Sword and Shield came out, and then I kind of got distracted with that and kind of disregarded Pokemon Go entirely. So, um, no, I don't really play Pokemon Go much anymore. Um, Random, but would it be sweet if Lloyd had freckles? I guess. I think Jay works a lot more for like the freckled character, though. I think if Lloyd had freckles, it would be a little too out of character for him. I think Jay definitely makes it work a lot better than Lloyd. So, uh, thoughts on Attack of the Moro Dragon and City of Styx? I think the Moro Dragon set is kind of cool. I would love to see a Legacy remake for that. In terms of City of Styx, also cool set. I would love to see a Legacy remake for that. Maybe give us a preeminent build with that City of Styx Legacy set. I think that'd be awesome. Um, I forgot that we were getting like a juniors bounty set coming out in the summer. It's crazy. Just waffle watch Ninjago. Well, last night I was trying to watch the True Potential episode for today's stream, and she was sitting in my chair, so I had to move her and put her in my other chair, and she just came back and kind of sat like up on my shoulder and went to bed. So she doesn't really watch it as much as she just kind of sleeps while I watch it. So what about a Legacy Temple of Jitsu in the City Garden style? That could be cool. Though I think the Temple of Jitsu, like itself, I think that still holds up to this day. So Wanda's vision or white vision. I kind of prefer like the white vision to an extent. I think he's a lot cooler, but Wanda's vision is very emotional. I'm not really a big fan of where they left white vision, where he just kind of regains all the memories and then just kind of dips randomly. It's like, all right, well, there he goes. Maybe we'll see him again, maybe not. I've seen a couple of people asking for season 9 slides. We could do that. My season 9 slides are mixed in with my season 8 slides, so you might see a mixture of Sons of Garmadon and Hunted. So, heads up for that. Favorite legacy set? Probably the Gardens, but if we can't count the City Gardens, then maybe the Titan Mech or the Monastery. I think those are still good. Why am I getting emails from Custom Ink? I haven't used Custom Ink in years. That's awkward. Pink Zane or Movie Zane? Gotta go with Pink Zane. Like, one of the other things I don't really care for about the Ninjago movie is that Zane kind of creeps me out. I feel like that's the case for a lot of people. Do I think Ninjago is losing a bunch of attention since its high point since its high point with the movie? In terms of whether or not I think Ninjago is losing attention, I don't think the audience right now is as strong and as populated as it was maybe around the time of like the movie. I'd say the movie was kind of like the peak. So I've noticed with like a lot of Ninjago channels as well. Like a lot of Ninjago channels back in the day would get a lot of views when it came to Ninjago videos, and nowadays it's not that much. So it's either Ninjago YouTube is kind of slipping, or the Ninjago audience as a whole is just getting smaller and smaller. I wouldn't be surprised either way. But no, I feel like the Ninjago audience is like, I feel like that high point was a long time ago. I feel like a lot of people have left Ninjago since like the design changes, probably with the movie. I know that drove a lot of people away from the series, which is kind of ironic considering how the main goal with changing the ninjas' designs was to bring in more audience members. So, kind of awkward. Top 3 Ninjago bikes. I think we talked about that yesterday, but from what I can remember, I like the Jungle Chopper bike, um, uh, the Cole dirt bike from season 5. I like that one. And then what did I say for the third one? Did I say? I think I said the Blade Cycle. I think those are my top 3. So, do I own My Hero 2's Justice? I do not. I own the first one, and it wasn't all that great, so I didn't buy the second one. But I have the first one on PS4. Infinity War Endgame. I like Endgame a little bit more than Infinity War. I know that's kind of like an unpopular opinion, but I kind of prefer Endgame a little more. So, just my thoughts on that. Would an apocalypse season be a good concept for Ninjago? Oh, sure. I think like with an apocalypse season, we might actually see something like that with the legacy shorts. I feel like we'll see like a what if future where Ninjago has just been completely ravaged. I think that could be cool. Hey, no worries. Yeah, I think we talked about the bikes thing yesterday, but yeah, no worries. It's okay. I don't mind talking about that again. Like giant oversized bikes are like, a staple of Ninjago, so everyone's got to have their favorites because we basically get one like every single wave. WandaVision or the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We haven't seen Falcon and Winter Soldier just yet, so right now I gotta say WandaVision because we don't have Falcon and Winter Soldier just yet. Ultimate question: PS5 or Xbox Series X? Ultimate answer: neither of those right now. Because I'm not like a big gaming person. I have some games, but I don't really care enough to get a PS5 or an Xbox Series, whatever. Like right now, I can wait for that. I don't really want to be one of those people that's constantly refreshing the page or whatever, just trying to get one. And all due respect if you do that kind of stuff, but I don't know. It's just not for me. I could very much do without a PS5 or an Xbox, whatever. If I were to get one, I'd probably get a PS5 just because I have a PS4. So I'd probably keep that, but other than that, not really my thing. What zodiac sign am I? Sagittarius. I was born November 23rd. It's a Sagittarius. Favorite secondary villains? Secondary villains like henchmen of sorts. Yeah, I'd say if Klaus can be considered a secondary villain, then totally Klaus. Otherwise, some of the Sons of Garmadon generals are pretty cool too. Like Mr. E. I love Mr. E. I love Flintlock from the Sky Pirates. So I know some of them have been redeemed in terms of characters, but as secondary villains go, those are pretty much the first ones I think of. Will I ever do any more spinner videos? If I get any like updates regarding Ninjago spinners, then yeah, I could totally do one. um, Kilo versus Dogshank. That'd be a battle that I'd love to see. I think Dogshank would win, but only by a little bit. Otherwise, I think that would be pretty evenly matched. So, have I gone to Universal Studios? I have not. Yeah, Mr. E is one of the best Sons of Garmadon generals. I'd say he's leagues better than Kilo and Ultraviolet. Ultraviolet's kind of a little too crazy for my taste. I feel like he's like or she's like, she's like the Harley Quinn of Ninjago, I'd say. Little too animated, little too crazy. Fidget spinners, where are they now? I forgot that fidget spinners existed until just now. So, what did we give the episode? We gave it a 9. A 9 out of 10. Or at least I did. Yeah, that's a good point. I think Kilo would probably win if he had the Oni mask. I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking about like if they were to fight like face to face, like, no weapons or whatever. But yeah, with the Oni mask, yeah, he'd probably win. Do I like Hunted? Hunted's alright. I'm not like super excited to review Hunted as much as I was excited to review Sons of Garmadon, but maybe Hunted will surprise me. I just remember not really enjoying it the first time, or not enjoying it as much as some other Ninjago seasons. I think it's very much like kind of like an average season of sorts. Yeah, I remember when fidget spinners were like a really big thing online, and all the big YouTubers were talking about them. I don't know why they were so popular. It was just like a really random thing. Can someone use all three Oni masks? That's an interesting question. I wonder if like they put on all three Oni masks, if they would like explode or whatever, or gain ultimate power. Yeah, I'm excited to review Hunted though. Like I'm looking forward to it. I'm just not looking forward to it as much as season 8. But I am curious to see if my opinions change on it or not after I rewatch it for these streams. Favorite ice-type Pokemon? Some of my favorite ice types, we got like Weavile, even though Weavile's not very good in the competitive scene. I love like people are like Pokemon like Lapras. I think Lapras is a cool ice type. I get it, cool ice type. But I'd say I think Weavile, Glaceon, some of like the Gen 4 ice types are pretty cool. Yeah, fidget spinners were fun. I remember my dad got me one when they were like super popular, and I'm like, all right, well, this is fun for like a couple of seconds. It's cool to watch it spin. But no, I don't know why they were so popular. It's kind of like how it is now, like with Pokemon cards. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of other YouTubers are doing like Pokemon card videos. Even people that don't know anything about Pokemon are doing it, and it's very weird. It's just because it's a popular item right now. How old is Waffle? We don't know for sure, but Waffle can't be more than like 3. She's either 2 or 3. Still very young. Pokemon Sword or Shield? I played Sword. I remember when they came out, I bought Sword for myself and then I bought Shield for a friend of mine. So, second favorite Pokemon, Torterra. Torterra was my first Pokemon. Well, technically Turtwig was, but I spent more time with Torterra, so Torterra wins. Did I like Ninjago better when it was 24 minutes or when it's 11 minutes now? In terms of like what the 22-minute episodes versus the 11-minute episodes, um, I'd say it just kind of depends on the episode. Like some 22-minute episodes drag on forever, but some 11-minute long episodes are way too short. So I'd say it kind of works depending on what type of episode you're trying to make. It either works or doesn't work. Yeah, I'd say Polaric could wear 2 Oni masks at once. He does have 2 heads after all, so he's probably the most powerful Ninjago character just because of that. Any 2-headed Ninjago character infinitely is more powerful just because the Oni masks exist. Like some of the Serpentine that have 2 heads. Slap the Oni masks on them. There you go. I think the island needed 22-minute episodes. I agree with that. I'd say that if the island had 22-minute episodes instead of 11-minute episodes, I'd say there would be a lot less complaining going on with that season. Yeah, exactly. Fangpire rise up. If the Fangpire get the Oni masks, they would be unstoppable. Kong or Godzilla? I'm Team Godzilla. We will see what happens in that film. Looking forward to it. Diamond and Pearl Ash or XY Ash? I'd say Ash Ketchum in the Pokemon anime was the best in X and Y. He was at the top of his game, had his best team ever, though Diamond and Pearl Ash was pretty good as well. I liked what he did in the Sinnoh League where he brought back a lot of his old Pokemon. But like XY Ash was like, he was up there, you know? When will season 14 come out for England? I am not sure about that. The only thing I know is when it's coming out in Canada. So, I don't even know when it's coming out in the States. If it even does come out in the States, I'm sure it will at some point, like 3 months or so. What if Dareth got a hold of an Oni mask? Not too sure about that. I'm sure he would find some way to mess it up. Yeah, XY Ash was pretty cool. Makes me all the more upsetting when he lost the league. A little bit of a story time there. So, when X and Y was coming out, like the actual anime for Pokemon, I used to watch that religiously. I was like super obsessed with it. I loved it. I watched every episode in Japanese when it came out, of course. And during the summer, the Kalos League arc aired, and I remember watching it. And I used to work at a school at the time. I used to work at my high school during the summer, like for cleaning and maintenance and stuff. So I went to school, and all my friends knew that I had watched it. Like all my friends that worked with me, they knew that I watched it, and they heard about Ash losing, and they knew that I was going to be super upset going into work. And yeah, I was very upset that Ash had lost the league. Top of his game, best team he's ever had, facing off against a guy that he hasn't beaten before. That was like the perfect opportunity to make him win. But no, instead they make him lose because God forbid Charizard loses a match. But Ash won in Alola, which made me even more upset. Do I like Pokemon Journeys? I haven't seen all of it. I am very behind. Like I've been kind of watching the English dub on Netflix, and I've only seen the first like 12 episodes. Like they have it in certain parts on Netflix, and I've only seen part 1. So I am very behind. I need to catch up. But I've still been getting like caught up with what's been going on. Like I still read up on the episodes that come out. I still lose everything, or I still like catch up on everything. So How did Ash Greninja lose to a fire type? Yeah, my thoughts exactly. Well, technically, because Charizard was Mega evolved, he became half Dragon type, therefore water would do neutral damage. So I understand that to an extent. But Greninja got hit with a water move, which is still, like, not very effective. So, what if Lloyd wore the Mask of Hatred and hunted? That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, the Pokemon beef is real. Am I a big Dragon Ball fan? I am not. I've never seen anything Dragon Ball related. What animes have I watched? I've seen a bunch of stuff. Like, if you give me like a specific name, I can tell you if I've seen it or not. Um, do I prefer pet dragons like Zippy and the original dragons, or wise dragons like Firstborn? I think it's cool if the ninja have pet dragons, because pet dragons to me gives the ninja a little bit more of an excuse to bond with the dragon. Like, I don't consider them to have a really big bond with Firstborn. However, with their original dragons and the Ultra Dragon, yeah, they totally have a really fantastic bond. So. Yeah, Charizard's only a dragon type when it mega evolves. Only Charizard X though. He becomes fire dragon type. Why don't we move to I've seen some people asking for season 11. We could totally do that for a little bit. Besides Ninjago, what shows am I rewatching? That's pretty much about it. Like with a lot of my time, it's usually spent doing videos or doing something else. I don't really watch a lot of TV. So, thoughts on Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl? Looking forward to it. I already pre-ordered them both, so looking forward to that when they come out at some point later this year. Almost forgot that season 11 was a thing. Yeah, I don't blame you. I feel like a lot of people forget about it. What if in Hunted, Harumi survived that fall while the building collapsed? Then Harumi is probably still creeping around somewhere. I think, for all intents and purposes, that she is dead. So, yeah, I figured I'd get both Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, just because Gen 4 was my first game. Gen 4 was like, it has a really good, really close spot in my heart, so figured I would get both of them for the first time in a long time. I think the last time I got both games was X and Y. Stop motion animation at 100K? Probably not. I'm not super great at stop motion. I feel like it would just be super weird. I could try to do something with that, but it's probably not going to turn out very well. Thoughts on the original concept of Mr. E being Echo Zane? I think that's a cool concept, but I understand why they changed it. They ultimately changed it because there was just too much going on in Season 8 already to warrant them explaining where Echo Zane came from and why he's suddenly evil. So I understand why they changed it. I think it's a really cool idea, though. Like, I feel like if they rolled with it, I don't think anyone would complain. But yeah, I understand why they ended up changing that. Um, I'll probably play Brilliant Diamond more though, because Diamond was my first game that I had. I got Diamond and I didn't have Pearl when I was younger. I only had Diamond. So I'll probably play Diamond and then maybe I'll just play Shining Pearl as like a secondary copy that I can just like keep Pokemon on. So Ice Chapter or Fire Chapter? I think the Ice Chapter is better than the Fire Chapter. I feel like a lot of people share that same opinion. Wildbrain puts Zane's shurikens on his back, but Wilfilm just made them disappear. That's what I'm saying. I feel like Wildbrain gets a lot of hate for no reason. They're doing a lot of good stuff for Ninjago. So Dialga or Palkia? Yeah, Dialga's cooler. I think he's the cooler of the two. Honestly, the Sinnoh legendaries, they're all pretty solid. Can't really go wrong with any of them. Like, you got a bunch of really solid Sinnoh legendaries. I mean, just breaking it down, Dialga, Palkia, Giratina, Arceus. Like, just those four alone are just awesome. Do I think Ninjago is kind of like an anime? I think it's as close as you can get to having like a Lego anime without explicitly saying that it's an anime. I feel like the formula is there. It definitely has the anime formula. It's just the art style doesn't really complement the anime formula all that well. Favorite My Hero intro? Right now it's Odd Future. I think the opening for no, the fourth one, the fourth opening. Yeah, the season 3 intro, the first one. But from what it seems like, this new intro for My Hero might be cooler. I don't know. We'll see. Where's the Master of Form? Probably out somewhere starting a cult. She's probably turned to the dark side ever so slightly, and now she's like running a street gang or whatever. Yeah, Monkey Kid's a lot closer. Yeah, Monkey Kid is pretty much the Lego anime, but Ninjago's formula is very much there. If they wanted to make it an anime, they very well could. That's kind of why I like Monkey Kid as well, because it's not afraid to take that risk. It's not afraid to like make itself like a straight up like Lego anime. With something like Ninjago, I can tell they play it safe a lot. I liked when they experimented though with season 11 with like different art styles. I liked that because they actually experimented. They were like, oh, would this work if we wanted to make a series for this? And ultimately, the fans decided no, we don't like change. Mew or Mewtwo? I've always kind of preferred Mewtwo. Mew's cute, but Mewtwo's awesome. Ever thought of live streaming yourself playing Diamond and Pearl? I have, but I'm not sure how well like an audience of primarily Ninjago fans would react to that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if I were to stream it, maybe I would do it somewhere like maybe on my Instagram or something like that. You know, something that I can actually expand out on because my YouTube channel is pretty restrictive, all things considered. Maybe on Twitch if I ever get around to it, because I know I have a Twitch channel, but it's been inactive for a long time. Um, Ash and Lily? I guess. I kind of prefer Ash and Serena, though. I think that's my favorite ship. Apple or Android? Well, I have an iPhone, so I guess technically Apple. Have you ever seen Ninjago in Japanese? Oh, yeah. I've seen Ninjago in Japanese and Korean, you know. Mostly Korean, though. Let's see. Thoughts on Naruto? Haven't seen it. I think Misty and Ash are cool, but I don't know. Like I prefer Ash and Serena. That was like a really big part of me watching X and Y. Why I was so obsessed with it was because I really enjoyed that ship. Like I cried at the end of X and Y when the big kiss happened. I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, it happened. Rejoice. What Ninjago minifigure do I not have that I wish I did? I wish I had the golden dragon armor version of Master Wu from season 9. Don't have that one just yet. Yeah, Misty's cool though. I like Misty. Not my favorite Pokemon character ever, but she's okay. Do I think Akita will ever return? Maybe in the future. I'd love to see her back at some point. Hoods, half masks, or headbands and half masks? I'd say hoods do justice to the Ninjago characters overall. However, the headband and the half mask combo from the island is actually pretty sick. Yeah, I liked the escalator scene. I was like, oh my god, it happened. Thoughts on Eevee as a Pokemon? Eevee's cool. I prefer the evolutions a lot more though. Like the cool thing about Eevee is that it changes its type when it evolves, you know? Like a lot of people have been saying, well, Eevee is cool, but Eevee's kind of like the basic version of like, the evolutions. I think what's cool about Eevee is that it can evolve into all these different things. I definitely prefer some evolutions over others, but they're all pretty good in their own way. Lloyd's jungle chopper bike or Cole's dirt bike? Probably the jungle chopper bike, I'd say. I'm starting to like it more and more. Why don't I like Dareth? Dareth is just annoying to me. He's just obnoxious. He comes off as like just being overly like stupid for no reason. So I don't really care for him all that much. Like when he's not there, or when he's there, he doesn't really add to the scene. He just kind of takes away from it, if we're being honest. Yeah, Sylveon's my favorite Pokemon by default, so Sylveon would be my favorite evolution. I like Sylveon. I remember when Sylveon was coming out, there was like all this mystery over what its type would be, and then they introduced Fairy type. How does one go up a down escalator? You can run up the stairs almost. If you get enough speed, you can beat it. I wouldn't recommend running up escalators because there's a chance that you'll probably get hurt, but it is possible. Um, do I like Lego Friends? Like Lego Friends as in the thing that's been out since 2012 or like the Friends sitcom sets? Because Lego Friends has like a theme like the 2012 theme. It's okay. Like I don't collect it myself, but there are some really cool pieces in there with like those sitcom sets for like Lego Friends, like the whatever they made for that. I think those are okay too. I'm not a big fan of Friends the show, so not super invested in that one. Yeah, Friends came out in 2012. That's been going on for a long time too. Like Lego Friends, that's been going on for a real long time. It almost surpasses Ninjago. Like if Ninjago ends before Lego Friends does, like Lego's got some explaining to do. Can you please see the waffle picture? Certainly. Waffle, waffle being waffle, and that's about it. I think the theme is cool in some regards, you know. I think some of the pieces are fun. Like I have some of the sets because my sister had some, but she didn't like them, so she ended up giving them to me, and I just used the pieces for stuff. Lego Friends isn't Lego. Sure it is. Are you talking about the minifigures? Because the figures themselves, like the mini dolls or whatever you call them, they have some compatibility with minifigures, specifically like the hair pieces, but you know. Um, why doesn't Ash have a Zebstrika? Probably because he's already got an electric type with Pikachu. Opinions on Ninjago edits. I've seen some cool ones. I've seen some not so cool ones. That's pretty much my opinion on them. Do I like Lego Elves? It's probably like the same deal with Friends for me. Like I think it's cool in some regard. Like I like the dragons and some of like the larger animal style builds that Lego Elves has, but ultimately it's just not really for me. But if I were to get a set, I wouldn't complain because I can still use the pieces for other stuff. I just really wouldn't put it together if that makes sense. That's only like a parts pack for me. Would the show be different if all the characters were human? Oh yeah, for sure. Ugh, I have to excuse my yawning. I think if Ninjago was live action, that'd be funny. They should do a live action episode. Opinions on the Legacy Boulder Blaster? Uh, not all that great. I mean, my opinions on the Boulder Blaster as a vehicle itself aren't really all that great. Like, I really don't care for the vehicle as it is. So, getting like getting the Legacy remake of it, it's all right. What do I think of the new Winnie the Pooh set coming out? I think it looks cool. I'm probably not going to get it though. Like Winnie the Pooh was like a big staple of my childhood as well, but I'm probably not going to get the set because I don't really care about it much anymore. But I think it's a cool looking set. Is it possible to be a ninja? I'm sure if you put a lot of time and effort into it and, you know, maybe learn spin jitsu a little bit, maybe you could be a ninja as well. I'm not a ninja, so I don't know. Cassidy and Butch to come back in the anime? Probably not, dude. Those characters weren't really all that great. Masters of Twistitsu, Twistitsu, or your Huwatsu, or your Spin Jitsu, whatever Kai says. Think it'd be cool if Cole got a digi dirt bike instead of the speeder car. Yeah, I'd say so as well. I think that'd be a lot cooler. The speeder car, though, as it is, isn't all that bad. Like, that's probably the best Ninjago Juniors set that exists. With only a few minutes left in the stream, why don't we turn it over to rapid fire questions? Anything that I can answer in just a quick sentence or two, and that'll be a good way to round out the stream and wrap things up. Do I like marshmallows? Yeah, they're okay. Not my preferred snack, but still pretty cool. Thoughts on Chief Mamatis? I think he's cool so far, but I'm excited to see what else he's capable of. Do I ship Denki and Jiro from My Hero? I do. Unagami or the Skull Sorcerer? Gotta go with the Skull Sorcerer. He's a lot cooler to me. Least favorite ship in Ninjago? Probably something like Nia and Lloyd because I don't really see them together. Least favorite Pokemans? I hate Rhyperior so much. He's my least favorite. Such a weird design. Ninjago live action Dreamcast. Uh, Ewan McGregor as Sensei Garmadon, obviously. That's pretty much the only one that I'm like, yes, that would totally work out. Otherwise, all the rest are just, you know, could pretty much do for whatever. Have I seen Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai? Yes, I have. I've seen that and the movie. It's pretty good. Pizza or burgers? Gotta go with burgers. I think burgers have a lot more variety to them. Why do I like anime? Because it's fun, and when I was really down with depression, anime helped me jump out of it. So it's kind of another reason. Um, Guessing characters / elements using concept art. That'd be a cool idea for a video. Lag. I'm not seeing any lag on my end. I'm not seeing any dropped frames. Do I ship Bumblebee and RC from Prime? Not really. Like Transformers Prime, I don't really ship any characters together. Pizza rolls or Dino Nuggets? I gotta go with pizza rolls, man. Am I gonna review season 9? Yes, indeed. We're still gonna be reviewing season 9 on these streams. Have I watched The Last Airbender? Only the first couple of episodes. I have yet to continue that show. Do I like Harry Potter? I like the movies to an extent. I was never big into the books or the movies growing up, but just last year I watched all the movies, and they're pretty good. So, yeah, sometimes we do lag on the stream, but my streaming software tells me when we're lagging, and I'm not seeing any lag on my end, so. When does season 14, episode 3 and 4 come out? I'm assuming that was the question. On Sunday. Yeah, from what I've seen from Avatar, it's pretty cool so far. I just need the time to watch it. Like, I know a lot of Ninjago stuff kind of takes influence from Avatar, so I'm excited to continue it. I just, don't have a lot of free time. And there's other stuff that I want to watch more in my free time besides Avatar, so I'll watch it all one day. Favorite live action Spider-Man? Gotta go with Tom Holland. I think he's the best. Tom Holland. Yeah, the other Spider-Men are cool though too. Favorite YouTubers? I'm really big into right now watching new rock stars. I've been into them for a while, but I really got into them with like WandaVision coverage and stuff. I think they're a lot of fun to watch. Um, I'd say they're probably my favorite right now. Um, let's go ahead and answer one more question before we wrap up the stream. Um, I kind of want to talk about Pokemon Best Wishes for a second. Yeah, why don't we round out the stream talking about that for a second? I'm sorry it's like a Pokemon related question, but I like Pokemon too. I've been a Pokemon fan longer than I've been a Ninjago fan, so I feel the need to talk about this. Pokemon Best Wishes, otherwise known as Pokemon Black and White. Not a good anime. Not a good anime at all. I think it had a lot of potential, but a lot of the episodes are just really, really meh. Like, that's when I stopped watching the Pokemon anime for a long time. And then I picked it up again with X and Y. But with Best Wishes, I thought some stuff was cool. I liked how they brought back Charizard, but ultimately it was just not a good series to me. The Black and White games though are fantastic. Like, absolutely, like, boss games. But like the anime, not so much. And that'll pretty much wrap it up for the stream today. Like I said, I apologize that we ended on a Pokemon question, but hey, it is what it is. We stream Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Central Time, with an episode review and a Q&A. We update this day by day. If there's ever a day where I can't stream, I'll let you guys know via my community tab. No, I don't really care for Iris all that much. I like her in the games, but the anime, not so much, man. Sorry to say. But yeah, guys, that'll pretty much wrap it up. We can spam hug in the chat for our tradition. I'm going to type it in there 5 times because it's the 5th stream of the week, and it is the last stream of the week as well. On Monday, we will talk about Big Trouble Little Ninjago. That'll basically conclude our Season 8 reviews, and then next Tuesday, we will jump into Season 9 stuff. So hopefully you guys are looking forward to that, and I will see you guys on Monday, last stream of the week, unfortunately. So let's go ahead and say our goodbyes. Thank you so much for tuning into the stream. You guys have been a fantastic audience. We will be still pumping out content later today as well as on the weekend, so stick around for that. We have a couple of episodes coming out this weekend too, so stick around for those reviews if you want to see those. Otherwise, we'll be back on Monday with the streams. Hopefully you guys have a fantastic weekend and hopefully all goes well. Like I said, a couple more videos coming out this weekend and today, so stick around for those. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching this stream. That's going to do it. I'll see you guys on Monday. Hope you guys have a fantastic weekend.